Success and, well, fun yesterday working on the spinner project, I decided to make another project for you. This is another really easy to follow project, and I have one challenge that I will add into the project for you at the end. Let's see if you can do it. I'm going to call this project, because I'm working with sixth graders and that's really fun to do, I'm going to call it Pooping Unicorns. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a new sprite. And I'm going to choose a unicorn. But you can choose anything you want, of course. But I like to choose unicorns. Where is my unicorn? There we go. And I am now going to get rid of this sprite by clicking the delete button, or this X button, and then touching this guy. And so now I only have this unicorn. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to imagine that my unicorn moves around randomly, just kind of runs around the screen. Okay. So first thing I want to do is when this is clicked, I want him to start moving. So I'm going to say motion and move. Now this will only move him once. So instead what I want to do is I want him to move forever. Pretty good. So I'm going to get a control thing here and choose forever, move 10 steps. Now if I do that, he's going to quickly jump into the wall and then he's going to get stuck there. So I also want this guy to bounce when he hits the wall. So I'm going to say, there are really two ways to do this. I'm going to choose the second way. The easiest way to do it is just to add this in. So if on edge, bounce. And let's also say I don't want him to go upside down. So I'm going to say, don't turn. Okay. Now, or maybe I could have him turn left, right. That'll work. That'll be nice. Okay, so he turns left, right, but he always stays upright. Now, the reason I don't want to do this is I want to add a little bit of randomness to his movements. Right now, he's never going to go anywhere except back and forth, back and forth. I'd actually like it if he kind of moved a little bit around the screen. So what could be good is I could say, please turn a random number of degrees. So if I go motion and I say turn, pick random, -1 to 1 degrees, and I throw this in here, it's going to be a little bit random, but not a lot. It's still basically going to go up and down. Well, let's see if I change this. -10 to 10. Well, it's not going to work very well. Well, I guess it's okay. Kind of moves around. Eventually he goes up and down. That's fine. All right, that'll work. So he's moving randomly around. So I will do it this way with the edge. Okay. I'm going to slow him down, however, and hope he gets around. The other thing I want to do is I want to make my unicorn smaller. I feel like my unicorn is just too big for what I want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and change my unicorn size. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to set the unicorn size just once at the very beginning to 40%. So when I hit the green flag, it's going to change to 40%. Notice that it didn't change to 40% yet because it's only when the green flag is clicked. But now I've got a small unicorn, okay, moving around happily. Now the unicorn, I believe, should leave little poops behind. That's the whole point of this. And the poops are going to be what unicorns would poop, which is, of course, rainbows. So let's see. I'm first going to create a new sprite, and I'm going to choose it from our library. And things, I wonder if rainbows and things. Do they even have rainbows? Let's see. Let's hope. Well, I guess we'll just look through them all. Looking for a rainbow, singing a silly song. Aha, rainbow. There we go. All right, so this is going to be my rainbow. Now, one thing I want it to do is I want my rainbow always to be following with the unicorn. So that I want the rainbow to always be tracking with the unicorn. So first I've got my main rainbow. This is my first main rainbow. And I'm going to say always go to the unicorn. So the other guy is named Unicorn. And I can do this. And so now I'll hit flag. and it moves once to the unicorn. Every time I hit the flag, it goes to the unicorn. But I want it to always go to the unicorn. So I'm going to say, please always go to the unicorn. So I'm going to hit Control. And I'm going to just put this in forever and hit there. And now I can't even see the unicorn, really, because the rainbow is covering up the unicorn, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make the make the rainbow hide. So the rainbow will still be following him around, but it will be a hidden rainbow. Now, the other thing I might want to do is actually put the rainbow behind the unicorn. So I can do that by saying looks and go back one layer. So when I start the program, there's only 2 layers. There's the unicorn and the rainbow. So now the rainbow is always tracking him. But what I want to do is I want to say hide as well. So I'm going to hide the rainbow. So when I click this, it's going to look like the rainbow is gone, but it's just hidden. All right. Actually, I'm going to wait on that for a second because I want to show you something else first. So when the unicorn is pooping rainbows, I want the rainbows to be very, very small. So I'm going to do the same thing I did last time, which is I'm going to change its size. I'm going to set size to, let's say, 20%. And I'm going to do that just once. Boop. All right, so I still have a rainbow in there, but you can't really see it very much. Okay. And it is following around the unicorn. Great. So now all I want to do is I want to say every so often create a clone of myself. So let's see. So I'm going to put this in another. Well, I'm going to make a mistake first. So I'm going to say make a wait, and I'm going to say wait. Let's say 1 to 10 seconds, and then Control create a clone of myself. All right, let's just see what happens. What's interesting is it's still following the unicorn. I didn't think it would be doing this, because if it's not going to the unicorn, I thought it would make a mistake, but it actually seems to be working. I would have expected it to be waiting, so I would have expected that I needed to do this, put it in its own flag. If it's not working for you the way I just made it, do this instead, because this is logically what should happen. Go here, and now wait 1 to 10 seconds, create a clone of myself. And you have something that poops unicorns. A unicorn that poops rainbows. Now, here's a question. Here's the challenge. Can you make the poop disappear after it's been around for a few seconds, like let's say 5 seconds? So every poop lives 5 seconds, and then it fades away. That's the challenge. Could you figure out how to do that? I'll give you a hint. It has to do something with this, when I start as a clone. So you're going to put some code in here that says something, and then you want it to fade away, not just disappear, but fade away. Can you think about how to do that? That is your challenge.